What was the best thing about your childhood? My friend asked during a PE class. Yeah, we weren't paying attention. And my other friend called out, Barbie, with these dreamy, reminiscent eyes. And the rest of my friends started calling out one by one. Proto, rainbows, slimes. And I wanted to be part of this random chanting in the middle of a PE class. So I quickly recalled my childhood, trying desperately to think of what most of my childhood consisted of. But nothing came to my mind. So I dug through my childhood deeper. But the deeper I dug, the more I felt stumped. What was my childhood? As I thought and thought and thought, I realized that it wasn't a thing, but a person. My older sister, Sunny. She was present in almost every single memory of my childhood. Who here has an older sibling? Many of you might agree with me that when you were little, everything your older sibling did seemed to be the best and the right thing. Well, it was a little too extreme for me. I was Sunny's shadow. Yes, a literal shadow. Not only would I follow her 24/7, but I also did the same exact things as she did. For instance, when we were following our mom around in a mall, Sunny poked a button on a coat on sale with her right pinky for fun. I, who was tagging along right behind her, poked the same exact coat, poked the same exact button on the same exact coat with my right pinky. You'll get the idea, right? I liked the K-pop group Twice because she liked it. I liked dancing to K-pop dances because she liked it. And I liked acting out Korean historical films because she liked it. And I imagined myself as a movie or a drama character because that's what she did. I was her mini-me. That's how I defined myself. And I liked it. At least, that's what I thought. Naturally, Sunny became the fairy tale queen. Hedy, come here at the count of 3. 3, 2, and I would stop anything I was doing, even if that meant putting a stop to my bowel movements and dash to her. Hedy, watch the bathroom door for me, she would cry if the lock to the bathroom stall was broken. And I would hold on to the doorknob with all my might and not let go until she told me to, even if a spider was crawling down my back. Hedy, you always have to assume that everything I say is right. And so I did, even when she said that turtles had wings. But I want to remind you that I did not feel like Cinderella at all, but rather like the chameleon that follows Rapunzel everywhere gladly and obediently. That was my life for about 12 years. I was 12 years old when every single thing around me started to get on my nerves. I didn't like how beds always had to be rectangular, or how fishes plural had to be fish, not fishes. Everything in the world just somehow found a way to irritate me, and it was no different in terms of my sister. I suddenly felt like I was being enslaved by her. Why do I have to do what she wants? I started thinking to myself. Why is she ordering me around? I felt like my human rights were being violated. So I started a mini revolution. Hedy, turn the lights off for me. As soon as she said that, I gave her this glare, trying to look as menacing as possible, and then snarled. Don't you have hands too? And when she told me to put a book back on the left side of a shelf, I put it on the right. But no, I did not stop there. I was not that weak. I put it upside down. You know how people sometimes say that some siblings fight at every encounter? Well, before, I didn't get how people can do that and still live life. But it turned out to be possible because Sunny and I fought at every single encounter, and I lived, as you can see. But the more I started doing things independently, the less happier I felt, which is weird. I mean, I was having my human rights back, but I felt lost. I didn't know what I had to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Everything I liked was actually everything Sunny liked. I was a shadow that lost its owner. This was when I realized I was not living as Hedy, but as Sunny's sister. I'm sure many of you have heard of the fairy tale, The Ugly Duckling. In the fairy tale, the ugly duckling is quite different from the rest of his duckling sibling. He's furrier, has darker hair, and is bigger. He's uglier. So to fit in, the ugly duckling tries his best to be just like his siblings, to be pretty like them. For years, I was the ugly duckling, trying to be just like my sister, the pretty duckling. I mimicked the walks and the quacks. But in the fairy tale, the ugly duckling turns out to be a swan. I turned out to be a swan. Swans don't quack like ducks, but they bugle. They don't paddle like ducks, but they glide. They are no more or no less than ducks, just different. But they are the prettiest when they do these things, because they are meant to do them. In this room, there are ducks, swans, mockingbirds, sparrows, and on. So much more, because each and every one of us here is different. And all of these animals are pretty in their own ways. Some fly, some swim, and some waddle. But when we start letting others define who we are, when we start letting ourselves be something we aren't, when we start quacking when we're supposed to be chirping, we lose our beauty and our happiness. But many of us don't know what we even are. We don't know that we're supposed to chirp, just like how I didn't know what I liked, what I'm good at, or who I am. But this is a task that we all have. It's an assignment that's going to take us our whole lives to complete. It's not going to end until we die. But we can control when we start, like how I did when I was 12 years old. I tried hard finding out who Hedy is and started to be that person. Instead of acting, I started to draw and paint. And instead of K-pop dancing, I started to delve deeper into playing my instruments. I'm currently 15 years old, and I have a whole life ahead of me. And during this lifetime, I know I'm going to meet thousands and thousands of different people and invest in thousands and thousands of different relationships. What I also know is that among those relationships, there will be ones that might pressure me to become a sparrow when I'm a swan. But I'm going to continue on my task to find out who I am and be who I am. And in the future, when my friend asked me, what has been the best thing about your life? I hope I can confidently say, being Hedy. And I hope you can do too. Thank you.